Hello, 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 everyone. How's everyone doing on this fine Monday morning? Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Gio, or George, sorry. Good morning, Waka Waka. Good morning, Davey. Good morning, Patrick. Good morning, Josh. Waka Waka on the Tesla train, or T-Cell. T-Cell. Uh, when's it finally gonna dump? What? When's finally gonna dump? Oh, it'll only dump once TomTom turns bearish. Hello, Lauren. Nvidia crashed the market? Nvidia didn't crash the market. Good morning, Sashi. Palantir could crash the market. Oh, they missed on EPS, but the real thing that killed them was guidance. Hey, Connor. Nvidia preliminary Q2 revenue 6.7 billion, estimated 810, cites a shortfall as being preliminary driven by weakening gaming revenue. How about weaker Bitcoin? Rip the markets. Yep. Hey, Connor. Buy the dip. It'll be 200 today. You are just bullish on everything. Actually, I've been short-term bullish. By the way, the Jim Iorio podcast comes out. It's processing now, so watch for that and tune into that sometime after the market open when you have a chance. Good morning, Options 22. You come on the air and bam, the markets crash. Well, look at that. Good morning. The markets must know I went live. Uh, so nothing going on today, unless you're interested in the 3 month and 6 month T-bill auctions. So that's not going to do anything. It was a little green. Let's just refresh this. And well, you set Nvidia down 8% now, but that's not going to crash the market. Uh, let's see. We still have the 75 basis point favored, and we're not paying attention to that line. Zero gams at 41.11. Like I said, Palantir was gapped down to that channel line. Actually, I thought they'd actually gap up today, as I talked about yesterday, but they gapped down, pretty substantial miss, and the guidance was horrible. Other than that, let's peek in on stuff. So, I mean, the NASDAQ, you had NVIDIA, which is pulling back from the open, still sideways basing. Let's just peek in. Let's just peek in on NVIDIA real quick. NVIDIA, again, we finished the other pattern, and now we hit that 87.5. Now you gap down, actually gap down below the rotation zone. I will watch for a potential gap play this week to the upside, as long as we don't roll over in the NASDAQ. So I'm going to keep going with that. But cycles at the top on the daily, cycles at the top on the weekly. So I'm going to be patient with that at least until it can show a little bottoming strength in there. Now we can get to stuff. Where do we sit? I have that effect, and no, I do not. I've actually been short. You should actually hear me. I sound a little bullish on the podcast. Let's just see. I'm still watching with a sideways base. We have the quick reversal. Cannot get intraday bearish, though, until we get in minor below 41.43 and major, well, more substantial below 40.89. But we have a long way to sit down to go into that. So I have my minor levels. If we go into the open, again, we're sitting here. We already broke out. We're trading against key support about 41.62, 41.64. We break below that is 41.43 will be the next support level, which is pretty significant. 48, 41.81.50 is stop raise. 41.89 is minor target. 4200 is the next major target. So that's where I'm looking right now. Again, can't start getting overly bearish. We have dueling significant levels about 40.90 and about 40.73. So there is a lot of support down there. So besides a little minor pull back, you see this is a pattern sideways with the 8 pushing the price. Even with this little pullback going into the open, we still have 8 pushing the price without any stuff here. Now, I am going to watch as the week goes on for a little bigger pullback to trigger. But as I said yesterday, and as I said, I don't remember if I said this in the podcast, but we have key support right here. Key support this 40.75 to 40.87, and then next major support is 40.20 area with the rising rotation zone. So even on pullbacks, we got a lot to chew through. And really can't get super bearish until back below 38.40. So that's where we sit by here. Oh boy, I can't even speak. So please do consider subscribing, hitting the like button, and ringing that bell. Now let's just get back to our analysis. NASDAQ, again, little pullback going into the open with that NVIDIA stuff. Minor, we're sitting at this minor support level. We tried to break above this 13,340 area. So that's where I'll be watching into the open again for the bullish play above there. Bearish play, minor bearish play, not major bearish play, is a break below about 13,230. But you're going into a lot of key support down at 13,125. So again, can't get overly bearish even below that. I can't get overly bearish until it gets below 1390, which was the lows back from Friday. That's from Friday. So can't get even moderately bearish. Other than this year, we're still sitting in a sideways channel right here, and we're then on any dip at that 1390 level, then it's just watching for the next little key area. The minor support below there is about 12.9, and then we got 12.8, 12.805, but that's into the daily rotation zone, and we have a lot of support points. That's the thing on any sell-offs. We got lots of support points, and we still have a fair amount of shorts, especially in the Russell. Especially in the Russell. Dow is holding up. We do have this horribly sloppy potential topping pattern with the breaking below about 32,350, but right now Dow actually holding up into the open the best. My target on a resumption play to the upside is 33,000. We have a double harmonics right there, and that would complete. Remember, we got the close above the 62.5, and that would hit the 87.5, which is the statistical probabilities. It's actually 33,018. Then my minor level is 33,087. Then major, we're getting to about 33,250. Key support coming in at 32,590, 32,600. And then even if you break down there, another thing, we have major support, 32,350, and then about 32,182. If we hit this harmonic, I will reverse my harmonics to go back to the support harmonics from the resistance harmonics, but we haven't hit that 87.5 yet. Russell, again, it was still pushing up into the open. Hit my next harmonic of 1936, and my next major area is about 1952. I should caveat that 1948 to 1952. There's a fair amount of resistance right up there. So that's where I'm going to be watching for its minor top, especially going into inflation figures on Wednesday. DAX continuing little pullback here. DAX is getting into a toppy area. The only thing I'm watching, this looks like it's now, when I looked earlier, wasn't yet doing a double top. Nearly getting there now. So in a little push higher, we'll watch for this little double top pattern. That's the only thing that would tip me into short-term bearish, and I'd actually need to close below about 13,536, giving it a little more room. To the upside, though, key level to watch for is a 13,831 on a daily closing basis. A daily closing basis in there could lead to more probabilities of the upside and a potential return to the 200. Notes, pretty quiet so far, trying to put in a bottom, at least short term, against the 50. Remember, we're inverse head and shoulders on the longer term. So far, pretty much an orderly pullback, but no decent buy trigger just yet. We'll be watching this little channel to see breakout, but really it needs a resumptive move about 120.22 before I start targeting shorter bullish term plays back to the upside. Crude, watching for a bottoming pattern with daily and weekly cycles. Now remember, we did trigger a massive topping pattern, so it's back to sell rallies, but the rally area, watching for at least a short-term rally, 91.50, and then the breakdown zone, 93.36. I'm going to put up the minor harmonics with this pause so far to the downside. And these, I mean, the major targets are below, but the minor target, should it break down and before we put in the bottoming pattern, about 85.15 and 83.29 to 83.70. Gold, still, I'm watching if we break out. So far, it's a sideways correction with the rotation zone coming up. So as long as we don't get the daily close below 1770, then I'm watching for the pullback play. And then I'll watch for a long play down here. If we do push up above 1810, there's a breakout play. Minor level for raising stops, 1828. And major area is the 200 and the harmonic coming in about 1841 to 1845. Dollar index, still caught in this little consolidation area against the key prior support becoming resistance. Breakout play is roughly above about 106.70, and breakdown play is not back to below about 105.25. So nothing doing in there besides consolidation. VIX, we had the gap up so far, the gap fill to Friday's open, but not yet to the close. So I'm going to be watching if it does trend lower into the open for the full gap fill back down to 21.15. And then if it breaks through there to retest of Friday's lows. Can't tip overly bearish unless we get back above 22 with the breakdown in the price action. Euro, still, Jim put out a Euro trade. So that's in the Futures Edge podcast, dropping after this live stream. Bitcoin, what's interesting, Bitcoin in full-blown breakout mode to the upside in the channel, but the target is 25K. Tesla triggered that double pre-market up. Remember, if we do continue higher, this will be watching for the potential gap fill into the open, but there's a lot of overhead resistance, even up to about 892. And then above there, you can do the gap fill play, but the key level for the gap fill play to the long side is close essentially above 900. And I'd at least wait for a 15-minute, if not hourly close above there. Other than that, it could be another rollover play. We don't know if the selling on Friday is done yet. So do keep that in mind. But probabilities favor 849, 834, 820. Do you day trade? More so the futures. I more swing trade the stocks unless there's something really active. So that's where we sit there. Tom's buying the Tesla 15. Wow, you're really bullish there, Tom, on Tesla. 1,500 for next week. Whew. So you're saying, I mean, it's going to go up. If Tesla rallies, it's going to go up. But if before that really kicks in, you're telling me you're choosing a strike price that's 73% away from the market price? That's not even logical, even if you're bullish. That's not even logical. Because you'd want to be, if you're bullish, you want that gamma kicking in way sooner. Spiders, little pre-market gap up again. The target, we're sitting at 415. The next major target is 417.25. And then I'm really watching if we do survive the CPI numbers, even on a pullback. I'm actually watching the spiders over the next month to probably retest that 200. But the key little levels for shorter term trading, your support's coming in, your major support about right here. Your first level support is this 412.85, but if you break below there, your next key little support level is right around this gap open. That gap open right there. So that's at 409.60 to the upside again. 417.44. The Qs. We had that little double look like a gap up. Is that going to take the double off the table after hitting that first target? Well, after hitting that first target, yes, the pre-market will take that double off. I'm assuming it's going to open there. Again, that close now above that 62.5. And why did I do it all the way? Because we already hit the stop reduction. That's why I went all the way down there. So we should favor the harmonic 323.90 to about 324.71. Then my next level is 325.34. Key support coming in roughly 318.40 area, 318.04 to 318.40. You break below there, 316.28. Those are the levels for that. Where do we sit? What else do we have? I think that's pretty much about it. US dollar, yen. I'm keeping an eye on this potentially pretty significant topping pattern coming in here, but nothing else going on there right now. Let's just peek back at the S&P on a shorter term basis. Again, I'm actually focused if it holds the support on the resumption of the up little move, especially with no news coming out. It'll be interesting to see what people do on the NVIDIA open. NASDAQ actually has to get, in the opening play, has to get above about 13,292, about 13,295 for me to watch for something even slightly bullish into the open. Let's see. BBBY is saving the market. I didn't even look at BBBY. BBBY is saving the market. Oh, it is. That is a pretty decent gap up. We're still chasing. We're still chasing the squeezable stuff. So, yep. Actually, longer term, I'll watch for the gap fill play in this, but that's a little ramp up right now, but not really going to be a big market mover. Let's just peek in at NVIDIA once more. That is a pretty substantial after hitting the statistically key area, but I want to pop in on that weekly. Now, remember, semis are still in the long-term sell camp. Also, remember, on more selling pressure in NVIDIA, you still have a key gap down here to 157.62. And let me reverse these harmonics. I'm really curious to see if this gets bought into, how aggressively it gets bought into the open. I'm just moving some stuff out of the way. The key level, oh, look at that, right at that low, 160.12. So on a close below 160.12, that will tip it bearish. But back in here, it's still a potential, at least a short-term buy. This will definitely tip over the weekly and daily cycles. The daily cycles actually tipped over at the end of last week. AMD's down too. Probably in sympathy. That's only minor. AMD, now, AMD, did that hit that statistical level? 98.77. Oh, sorry. 104.59, 104.67, nearly there. We could still potentially see another push higher in AMD after this little pullback. So that will be interesting, especially with earnings out of the way. So that's where I stand. Still watching with today for the potential breakout to the upside and potentially bullish price action going into Wednesday. Again, even on breaks, there's a lot of key support to trade to the downside. So it would just be minorly bearish with aggressively taking profits to the downside and aggressively lowering stops since we're going into so much support. Hey, Dr. M, thank you for tuning in again. Thank you, Anissa. Watch for the futures edge with Jimmy Iurio dropping shortly after the open. When you have a chance to catch up on some other things after trading the open, can I do MSTR? Sure. MSTR, by the way, that double never triggered. Still running up. The next key, it's against this levels right here. We're above there right now. The next little minor stopping point is 366. Again, we're in squeeze the crap still mode. 329 is key support. Your next major resistance is 377. Let's just see where the harmonics take us. And 377 is a 62.5. So anywhere in here, and look, we got a cluster, but I'd be raising a stop or taking profits 377.09 anywhere in here to the upside. Right there. And then the next major areas is 377 to 381. And if you get a close above 377, the next target's 426. But I'd be aggressively, this is the potential short-term rollover zone, so I'd be aggressively moving up stops. I already said what I was doing off the 5-minute chart or the 15-minute chart. It really doesn't matter. I need it to get above about 13,295. This little breakdown area before I'll get bullish in the open. I'll watch for support. 13,230. We break below that. The next minor support level is 13,167. The next major is down at 13,100 to 13,090. That's how I'm looking at it going into the open. With that, I'm going to wrap it up for now so I can get everything going. You are welcome, Lauren, and I'll talk to everyone later. Bye for now.